First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll start
It's
off
an
by
honor.
I'll start off by asking you why is New York Film Festival a good place for you to premiere this film to the world? For
Oh,
the
it's a
first
great
time?
honor. I'm a New Yorker, and this is one of the most quality film festival in the world. It's a special event. It takes a lot to put its movie out. Technically. We just thought this is the most special place to show it.
That being said, what was the original inspiration to shoot a film in this format and to go the long haul to get it made this way?
I was on my way to find more about 3D, about more clarity in a new way of engaging the audience after Life of Pi. This came along from Tom Rothman at Sony. I was thinking if you put young soldier's sensation from Battlefield to a halftime show in a football camp, you have a movie. It's a great way to examine a young person in a coming-of-age story, and also our society and many, many other things. I'm eager to discover the potential of doing 3D movie, digital movie dramatically. I think there's a lot to discover here.
So here at the Film Society, we're all about the movies here. So are there any films that you would cite that you saw maybe at a young age to inspire you to pursue filmmaking?
I was young. That was a long time ago.
And lastly, what do you hope audiences get from this new format and this story together? We got the Iraq War story, sensory experience story.
Right.
And what do you hope you leave audiences?
I think with more sufficient information, actually, it's more comfortable to watch movies, and the way you engage into a story can be more personal. I think there's something different to explore, and most of all, study faces. I think that's what 3D should be doing. It should be looked at this way. I think that's the most important thing in our lives, is study our faces, study ourselves, and study each other.
Thank you for speaking with us, and have a nice night. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll start off by asking, how did you get involved in this project? Did you audition for the role?
Yes, I was at drama school in London, and I signed with my agent, and she sent me these sides for this film, Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk, and I put myself on tapes for a couple of scenes, and I came over to New York a few days later to audition with Ang and read with the casting director. And over the next 2 weeks or so, they just had me stay on, and they flew me to Atlanta, and we did a series of screen tests, and I got back to London, had to drop out of school. I found out I got the job the next day, and it happened very quickly.
So what was it like working with Ang Lee?
It was amazing. I mean, he's incredible. He really is one of the greatest living directors. All his films are different. There's no one stamp on them, and they may be tied by certain themes, but he's always trying to push boundaries in the way that he tells stories, be it with the technology or be it with the content. And to work with someone like that, who's not only a visionary but is a really good person, meant a lot and was an incredible experience.
And with this new technology that's debuting with the film, are you thinking about that at all when you're on set?
To a degree, but because I had no reference to making a film before, I didn't really know that it was weird and different as much as the other people, as much as the other cast who've done a lot more. They were I think they were probably more conscious of the differences, but for me it was just the norm.
And here at the Film Society of Lincoln Center, we're all about the movies here. So
Yeah.
Were there any films that you would cite as particular influences on maybe inspiring you to pursue acting?
There's a lot of films I grew up watching that stick out. I remember watching Kes, the Ken Loach film, a lot as a kid. North by Northwest. There's a lot.
Yeah, well, thank you for speaking with us.
Thanks a lot.
Have a nice night. Welcome. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Welcome to the New York Film Festival.
Thank you. Thank you.
How did you start on the project? Did Ang approach you about this role, or were you aware of the book before this?
He did. He approached me about it, and I was already a big fan of his, and I looked at. He told me what he wanted, what he was trying to do, and I said, I really wanted to work with him, so it worked out.
So about the new technology that's debuting tonight, does that change the way you approach your performance on set? Are you aware of it during production?
You don't think about it. Ang is he's totally into that, immersed in that. So, but you don't really think about it. But you do see the cameras and all that stuff, and kind of it's amazing actually. But you really just you just do your part, do your job. So it's good.
What do you think audiences will take from it? How will the audience reaction differ seeing the movie in this format? I know not everyone will be able to see it.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think this changes?
Oh, I think it's the future. It's the future. The way it's changing. It's definitely going to be the way people view movies in the future, and to come. It's just a good way to be entertained, a different way to be entertained. So I really think people are going to enjoy it, and it's going to be something normal in the future.
Lastly, here at the Film Society of Lincoln Center, we're all about the movies here. Mm-hmm. So, are there any films that you would cite as influences on your work or inspirations to pursue acting in the first place?
Oh man, strangest movies like Scarface. I watched that movie over and over again as a kid, and the realness of it was to me was really good, and it was a big influence on me. And growing up, I eventually started watching other movies, a lot of other different movies, and as a kid too. But Scarface was a powerful movie because it was so real, so crazy. Yeah.
Thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Have a nice night.
Thank you. You too.
Start out with, why do you think the New York Film Festival is a nice place for this film to make the first premiere?
Well, I think by default, because Ang Lee is the director, and it feels to me like a very serious movie. It feels like the perfect place to premiere it. It's a prestigious film festival, and I think Ang Lee has certainly earned this privilege.
And to speak about the technology that's debuting tonight, you've been in a lot of movies, but does the difference in this technology, does that go through your mind when you're on set creating this character? Are you thinking about the changes?
No, it didn't, because you're really acting, and there's the camera like it always is, except the camera, instead of being this big, is this big. But the strange thing that I learned is that the new 3D cameras, the old 3D cameras had two lenses. This has one lens. I don't understand. Somehow it splits the image and does a stereoscopic thing with it, which I don't understand. But
how do you think audiences will react to this film?
I have no idea. I did the movie and didn't hear anything from anyone until tonight. So I'm going to see it for the first time tonight along with everyone else. But the feeling on the set was very, very powerful and significant. That's what it felt like. But I had that feeling on The Jerk, too. So.
Can you just share what your experience has been like spending so much time with us here at the Film Society?
Yeah. It's aptly named because it actually feels like a film society rather than a competition or a venue for promotion. It genuinely feels like a place that we can get together and talk about stuff that we love. And there aren't, everyone likes movies, but not in this way. Not to make it sound like clubby or elitist, because it's absolutely not. It's superhuman. It feels very esoteric in the best way. We can actually talk about stuff that sometimes other people don't care about, which is fun for me. Yeah.
And lastly, with this new technology that's debuting tonight, are you, as a filmmaker and as an actress, are you are you aware of this while you're on set? Are you thinking about how people are going to be reading this performance differently?
Yeah, I was so out of my element. And I'm usually I'm super obsessed with process. I'm very aware of what's going on and how things are being seen and why people are making the choices that they're making. And in this case, I was a complete fish out of water. I didn't know what the camera looked like. I was so completely unacquainted with how things were being done, which is a cool position to find yourself in because discomfort leads to interesting places. It's weird. So.
Well, thanks for speaking with us and have a nice night.